Okay, so let's get this finish on. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. That is really nice ash. You know, a lot of people over here say they don't like ash. You can do so many things to it, and if you get the right ash, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Right, so that'll do. That can be soaking in. Put that there. In fact, I'll tell you what, I can give the inside another coat, because this wood, as I say, is so dry, it's really soaked in. So what'll be interesting to see is how this wood reacts. It's air dried, how it reacts when I start going onto the stem. Because sometimes I've turned these and the stem actually starts to move and buckle as you release all the tension and stress. Remember, I want to start off at maybe about 1/8 of an inch there and taper it down to maybe 1/4, 5/16. You're removing an awful lot of wood, and what you're left with isn't much. You're removing all that support. So let's see. I never know. I never know for definite how these are going to come out. So there we go. We're going to speed up, do this small detail here, lead into the stem, and then we're going to start to do the stem with a small bowl gouge. Again, 2,400. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take some of the wood away with the little quarter gouge. There. Take some of that away, we can take some of this. 1, 2, 3. Make some small cuts here. Right, now we're going to change back to the spindle gouge. I want a nice little slice into there. One more. There we go. That's clean. And that cut is just the same as if you were rolling or cutting a cove. Roll the tool, that's our small little detail there. Parting tool. Still a little heavy up the top here. So, spindle gouge. See if we can take one small little cut here. There we go, that's better. That's going to give me a better starting point at the top. I do the first 1/2 inch with the parting tool. I make a cut with the corner of the tool going this way. That way it's going to put pressure on. I can cut with the corner this way and there's less pressure. Make sure that's correct. Okay, so there we go. Let's stop that. I want to reposition the tool rest. Excellent, that's a nice starting point. Okay, it's ash, quite a resilient timber. Okay, so that should be okay. Now I'm going to move to the little quarter bowl gouge, move the tool rest in closer, and we're going to use the wing of this tool. I'm going to do kind of a chisel cut, then a back cut, leave a little step, then get that bevel parallel to the cut that I want to make and cut the stem. I prefer to do this with a bowl gouge. The reason for that is I've got the bevel to help me direct the cut. I can see what I'm cutting when I'm cutting it, and also I've got the bevel to help me burnish the timber as well. I am cutting technically very slightly uphill, however it's such a slight tip it doesn't make that much difference, and you can sand the stem as well. Okay, so I think this is easier. If you use the skew chisel, depending on how wide the skew chisel is, you're going to cut here. You're not going to see what you've cut because the bar of the skew chisel hides the stem. I can see what I'm cutting as I'm cutting it with this. So we're going to take this down a step at a time. I'll be moving the tool rest and just watch the steps. Leave as much support as you can. If you see this start to wobble more than say 1/8 of an inch, or move that much more than 1/8 of an inch, slow the speed down, and that'll stop the the wobble on it, okay? It'll stop it from starting to twist and whip. I'll need to move this touch closer. And if you're going to move the tool rest, stop the lathe. If the tool rest hits the stem, bang, you'll snap it. And it's just really frustrating. Okay, so this time the speed is 2000. Chisel cut. We'll leave that one there for a moment. Tell you what, I'm going to move to a bigger gouge just to get rid of this. I like to keep this one sharp for the stem, so I'm just going to move to this tool, just a standard swept back wing ball gouge, just to get rid of the bulk. You'll hear a harmonic. I'm trying to cut downhill here. There you go. If I go in squarer, I get that noise because it's pushing the wood that way. This cut is slicing through the wood. There's not so much pressure. Little things like that will make a difference. So I step it down in threes. I'm going to move this tool rest a little closer to there. Wing of the tool. Back cut. Leave that little step. Rest your bevel on the stem. Rest your finger on the stem as well. And just with the tip of the tool, push that through. Needs a little bit more, it's too thick. You have to get this right in stages as you go down. I'm keeping an eye on this as well, so there. Now we'll do the next stage. 1, 2, 3. Wing of the tool. Just scrape that back. Keep an eye on the cup. Bevel, parallel to the cut you want to make. Just push that through. Smaller cuts are better than bigger ones. Take another skim off that. There we go. Fine. Next step. 1, 2, 3. Up to now, that's quite thin. That's holding up fairly well. Be interested to see what happens when we get down here. Move that right slightly. I'm going to switch this off because I want to move the tool rest. We'll see what we've got. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So move the tool rest closer and just keep repeating those steps. If you get slight little rivels in there, don't worry, they'll sand out and blend in. Again, 2000, that's not moved yet, so I'm still turning at the same speed. If I'm getting away with it, that's fine. Tool rest isn't quite in the right position. Move it to here, and a touch to there. Be careful, don't hit the wood. Finger on the stem to support it. Right, that's starting to move. That's the 16th. If I turn the speed down, there we go. That's stopping it from whipping. There's a little hollow there, a little high spot there. I can sand here, miss that bit, sand that bit, well we can cut this bit. We only want a slight taper in there. Remember, I'm trying to feed the tool too fast for the speed of the lathe. That's better. Okay, back down to here. Again, keep an eye on this. Stem's starting to thicken slightly now. Cup's starting to move again. Turn this down. That'll just settle it down a bit. I'm on 1500 now. Some people say to me, why don't you sand? Yeah, you can, I could sand it now. I like to sand it later and blend everything in. Notice now the speed or the feed of the tool is slower because the lathe's running slower. Now the bevel, finger, support your finger on the stem. Notice when I get to that point, I close the flute down. If you were to hit that bit there with the flute in the cutting position, that wing's going to catch. When I get to there, I close it down, so if it does hit that surface, it's going to catch, it's going to scrape and not catch. You can see I've got a slight taper here. Actually, I think that's a little bit too thick too quickly. So we're going to come back here. I should just be able to get away with this. Take another small cut off there. The stem's starting to do that a little bit, and it's starting to get more difficult to pick the cut up back here. There we go. To there. Again, you can see slight little ripples. That should blend in. I'm amazed this hasn't moved that much. Absolutely amazed. So, move the tool rest to here, and we'll take it down to there. Long stem goblets. The long stem's nice. This should still look proportionate though. Some of the really long ones, technically good, but out of proportion. I still think they should look proportionate. Turn it up to a speed. I'm not even going to look at the speed on the dial now. I'm going to turn it to as fast as I can before that starts to whip. There, it's whipping now. Turn it back down. That's again 1500, just under 1600. You'll notice the closer you get to the chuck, you're getting a sweeter cut. You've got more support. Let's move that to there. I'm making cuts down here because I want to kind of see how long I want the stem to be and where the base needs to be. So if I make cuts down there and not go too thin, I can start to see the whole proportion of this. Cup's moving. I can see it out my peripheral vision just off that little quarter of an inch. Turn the speed down slightly. Take that to there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop for 1 minute. I'm going to set up. I just want to go and get a tool. I'm going to set up and show you how to do a captive ring. Okay? It's a great opportunity. I'm just thinking I might as well kill two birds with one stone. Give me 1 second. Okay?